Street Fighters. Hey, Street Fighters. Hey, Street Fighters. Hey, Street Fighters.
What the fuck?
I just wanted Brian to think that it was fucking up. It played twice. Thanks for tuning in. It's Wednesday night time for Street Fight. Twitch.tv/Street Fight Radio to watch us go live on Wednesday nights or Sunday nights when we take calls. We're happy you're here. Love to see all y'all in the chat. Thanks for the birthday shout outs. We're going to continue to spread this mess across the U.S. as always. I'm Brett Payne. My co-host is Brian Quinby. And we are live on the internet, but also as a podcast. Most people get us as a podcast. I lost my music bed, but I would like all y'all to know that if you want to support the show and what we do and you don't want us to sell you stuff, there's some stuff I will sell you. If I can get our own strain of weed, I will sell you that for sure. And then merch and stuff. But yeah, ad wise and all that, none of that. Just two bad apples ready to spoil the bunch. And you can pay for us to do so by heading over to patreon.com/Street Fight Radio. For just $5 a month, you get access to our bonus content. And even if you don't listen to it, you could just send us the money. You know, sometimes I subscribe to people I've never even heard their fucking bonus content before. I just like who they are. I just have like 18 podcasts I listen to. So, I can't get to all of the bonus stuff, but you figure it out for yourself, whatever works right for you. And if you're not ready to do so, at least send us a review or tell your craziest friend about us so that we can spread this mess across the U.S. How you doing, Brian?
Great. This is my debut on camera of glasses, Brian, which is a new Brian variant that just came out. Last Saturday.
The Murder Brian NFT. This is the glasses version.
Yeah, like a bored ape, but it's just he puts the glasses on. I kind of I didn't know how bad my vision was until this week. Like until I put them on. And first of all, the first day I wore glasses, I almost threw up all day. It was the worst feeling in the world. It was just it made me it made me feel crazy. And then like it slowly got better now to the point where I'm like, I like wearing the glasses now because I can read words on a screen, which is very nice to be able to do.
Yeah, you just gotta get used to it. It's like drugs.
Yeah. But it really makes you feel like, I guess, like it makes you feel so nauseous the first day. It is crazy. They told me it would make me feel nauseous, and I was like, how would it? Because I don't listen to anybody. Because I don't listen to nobody, I decided that. I also dared my trainer this week when he was like, we're going to do legs today. And I was like, oh, I heard about leg day. And he was like, hopefully you don't get, we'll try to make it so you don't get sore. And I was like, oh, my legs don't get sore. Like that. It's fucking impossible for my legs to get sore. Guess what? My legs did not get sore.
Wow.
He did. He did make me work my ass off, and I almost threw up. It's fucking crazy that like I can run. I'm now to the point where I can run a full mile. Not super fast run, but I can run a full mile without stopping. I'm doing the incline on the treadmill and shit like that. Like I'm really trying to push myself as far as I fucking can go. I do the incline, and that made me a little tired, but even then is like I haven't been sore yet. I don't know what's going on. I hope to get sore one day because I really like feeling sore.
Yeah.
So now
I'm not trying hard. I guess you're not trying hard enough.
I mean, but I go till fail. Right? That's what he calls it. Lift until failure is what he calls it. And you just fucking, well, I mean, he says from 8 to 12, whatever these are.
Reps?
Yes, reps. He says 8 to 12 reps. And, most of the time I get to 10 or 11, but like it is a very crazy feeling to have something that you just lifted 9 times be something that you definitely absolutely cannot lift
Yeah.
one more time. Like, yeah, I don't even know like how to push a part in my body. So I've like been obsessed with these bodybuilding documentaries and these strongman documentaries. And I'm not
All right.
taking any advice from them or
Good
anything.
job.
And this is happening before I started lifting and stuff like that, but I've been like kind of obsessed with the guys just because like the strong men, the guys that can lift 1,000 pounds is something that like seems impossible, but then when they talk about what they have to do that, which is like they just got to eat so much food. It looks like fucking hell, man. The amount, because the guy's just like, I fucking am always shoving food in my mouth 100% of my day. I always have food going in, and even if I'm not hungry, and it's just like, man, I'd really like to be strong, but I don't think I want to be freakishly strong anymore, which is what I wanted to be before I started.
Yeah, that's a bad choice. That's a bad choice.
Yeah, I wanted to be a fucking total freak. I also watched like Pumping Iron, and that was pretty cool. But like I've been watching these things called Generation Iron, which are like, I guess, kind of a sequel to Pumping Iron in a way, but they took place in like the 2000s, where it's like following bodybuilders around on their way to the Mr. Olympia thing.
Uh-huh.
And man, those guys are fucking freaks, man. Like the stuff that they're doing is just like crazy. So that's I've been obsessed with it. Every night I go to bed and I watch a documentary by this guy. I can't even fucking remember his name now, but he's just a very specific director that I keep watching.
Yeah, I just want to help. I just want to make sure you avoid any body dysmorphia or expectations from watching all this stuff, because it will fucking twist your brain up. Even if you think, even if you think it's not fucking with you, it's fucking with you in a way. It's fucking changing shit inside of you, and everything as far as health and wellness and training and exercise goes is extremely fucking twisted and backwards. And they're only just now untangling it. So yeah, be careful looking backwards.
Yeah, I think I talked to you and said that my trainer told me I needed to do 200 grams of protein a day. And I'm like, I can't fucking do that. That's just not going to be something that I'm ever going to be able to do.
You need to lift heavy weights instead of not lifting heavy weights. You're not going to a competition, there's no reason to be on any sort of strict diet thing if you're not showing off your body. You just need to be able to lift weights and learn how to do it properly.
Yeah, that's what's been great. I mean, learning how to do it properly like has been like pretty incredible. Confidence. Like having a guy teach me how to lift through the heels of my foot, or not using my back to lift, because I've talked about this on Street Fight many times. I lifted with my back the whole time I worked real jobs for a living. And I'm not just saying like, oh, I was lifting wrong because I didn't know what I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? Because anybody who's worked in a warehouse setting or like a place where you have to carry stuff, they know how to lift, right? Like they know how to lift heavy stuff. They spend so much time showing you how to lift heavy stuff. Then they put posters on the wall showing you how to lift heavy stuff. And for all those years, I was like, why would I do it that way? It's stupid. It's much easier to lift with my back.
It also looks goofy. Like when you do it properly, it just looks so embarrassing.
That's true.
I suffered from the same thing, where I was too cool for school and like didn't want to stick my butt out when I lifted, when I totally should have not used my whole fucking back, because I destroyed mine.
Yeah, I really think it's like, I don't know how many generations it's gonna take before dudes are just like, I'll fucking not live with my back anymore.
Yeah, we have to tell your sons, don't do it. Don't fall into the trap of lifting with your back. even if it looks manlier, even if it looks like you're just like heaving shit, you know?
There's nobody though, dude. Even if I had a son that I was like, hey man, you know, just trust me.
Yeah.
Don't lift with your back. It's a very bad decision.
Even
He is going to go and to work
Yep.
and grab a box.
Yep. Some guy's gonna call him bubble butt while he's trying to lift stuff, and then it's over. And then it's back pain forever. Then it's just back pain from there on out.
And also, when you're lifting right at work,
it's like,
oh,
hey, dirty.
It also feels slow. It feels like you can't do it.
Yeah,
at the speed that they want you to
Bingo.
lift stuff.
Bingo. I fucked up my whole last wrist because I could take boxes and fling them, but like I was twisting my wrist like every time I threw boxes, and it was only oriented in one direction to the point where like I got that fucking ganglion cyst. I got this cyst in my wrist. It was a buildup from basically not taking the time to pick them up and walk over like a fucking robot and place them down. But their numbers were like everybody else wasn't hitting the numbers, and the people that were doing the safe lifting were not hitting the numbers.
You can't do it that way. They don't give you the way it works is the way it works with almost everything at the workplace, right? It is that like, hey, this is how you're supposed to do it. Now we're going to make it impossible for you to do it that way and meet the requirements that we've given you.
Right.
That is exactly how. That's exactly what. I mean, that happens with everything at a job. Like at this point, where it's just like, hey, we talked about the breaks and stuff like that, where they're like, you could take your break off. You don't have to take a break.
Yeah, you don't
it's
have
like
to.
You should though.
If you're willing to not take a break, we'll let you sign a paper saying so.
yeah. So it is something else. So I have some good news for everybody, and I have some bad news for everybody, and it's the same thing. Both of the things, both the good news and the bad news, are both exactly the same thing, and that is, I have Jim Breuer audio.
Wow.
Yeah,
he's still rocking and reeling.
Yep. I listened to this clip, 49 minutes. I listened to it 3 times today because the way he talks, it is very hard to clip audio from him because he is such a stupid idiot, and like everything he says is so stupid and worthy of ridicule.
Yeah.
It's
word by word he needs to be taken down.
No, I need to help somebody out. It's Vlad Yudin is the documentary guy.com. That's the guy. So that's all. But let's just get this started right away. Let me make sure it's on original sound here. It is. All right. Here's the beginning of Jim Breuer for this week's show. Oh, good, Brian. Don't fucking turn the volume on.
Way to go.
I know.
Okay.
All right.
There he is. Today.
What is this?
This is going to be a doozy.
A doozy.
Yeah, this is going to be a doozy. I will help. I know how to push this. I'm going to push this thing along in a way that like it will make sense. But I think it's like important for me to let him begin to set it up. And then because I do have to explain stuff as it goes because I can't play the whole video.
Where was it posted though?
This was posted on his, on the Jim Breuer's Bruniverse YouTube page.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
It's his YouTube page. We're not taking nothing out of, we're going to take a bunch of stuff out of context, but you know what I mean. He posted it.
Sure.
I didn't post this. So here we go.
So let's just jump right into it. So we're going to get into how in today's society, how there's such people living with such fear and hate.
Uh-huh.
Fear and hate.
Yeah.
that they're starting to expose themselves, and they can't help their hate, and they can't help their obsessiveness of wanting to stomp on anyone that broadcasts light or love.
Yeah, well, that sounds, actually, I had a weird interaction at the UDF this morning. I was going to the ATM, and I'm not sure what the conversation was going to, but there's like 5 old people that hang out there in the morning, like it's a McDonald's or whatever. And I heard them complaining about a book in Richmond. There was they read a story about a book in a school library in Virginia that had just depictions of male on male oral sex. And I feel like those are the people that are trying to shut down love. So I know what he means. I'm seeing this every day in society. People are trying to shut down love.
To insanity. The same people that preach what is supposed to be right, how we're supposed to look after one another.
That's us.
Over and over and over again have proven.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Okay.
That if you don't agree with them, they're not open to it. Their only message is hate and wishing you death.
I mean, so dramatic, my friend.
He is. When you find out what this is about, I'm just like, the build up here makes it sound like this is a deadly serious thing.
Okay. What I'm going to say, his complaints about other stuff, even like for just his persona. So like coronavirus, like just listening to the doctors. For those of us that are just saying, like, listen to the doctors and listen to the science people. And also there's other countries around the world where they're doing way better. That feels to me like some of the oppression that he feels, or like the hate in this country is that we started listening to people that said covering your mouth makes less people die.
Yes. Yes. I mean, that is what he's saying. And he'll say a few things. It's really dramatic.
This is really, he's in this like Glenn Beck mode, like, or Amelia in the chat said Jordan Peterson. I agree. This is lots of just smoldering intensity right here.
Yeah, he's so mad.
So this all sparks from, and I want people to understand how long this has been going on, and it continues to go on in major platforms, television, radio, major platforms, where people are basically saying, hey, if you don't believe in this, then you must die. You must not be taken care of.
Where is this happening?
I don't know. That is the thing.
Is there killing fields are back or something? Like, did I miss that TikTok? I didn't see the TikTok with like gas chambers or anything. I guess maybe, I don't know. I'm not in the loop all the time. I don't read the same news,
Yeah. I'm gonna show. Well, here.
More fascinating to me than anything else is some of these people come from a cult or religion or a belief that has dealt with such trauma in the past.
No idea what he's talking about here still,
that you would think their views would be just the opposite.
I'm going to say right now, anti-Semite. He's saying that Jewish people, I think he's like the Jews I think the Jews are the banks and they're controlling us all, is all this sounds like it's leading up to me.
Preaching hate, violence, and murder and death. So what I'm going to start you off with is someone who wished me death. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that wish me death. Just that's something you can't help in life. I mean, people will like you and people will not like you, and that's just the way it is. You can't control how people think or feel. People may watch my stand-up, say he's stupid, he brings nothing to whatever it is. That's fine. It's just,
you can't please everybody, man.
You can't please the world. It's really that simple. However, I'm going to show you how the circle of beauty can work, and what the monsters, the demons, the obsessed, the dark, purveyors, how they work, how they exploit themselves. It's like putting a light and you see cockroaches scurrying. We're gonna expose cockroaches in society. And I don't want you to stomp on them. Our natural reaction is to stomp on them.
This is the comedian Jim Breuer, the funny guy.
This is going to be an incredible.
It's
talking
scary
about stomping cockroaches in this world.
It's scary anytime a guy says,
"Yeah,
we got to stomp on the cockroaches."
Yep.
Anytime.
Yep. You know what? I'm abolitionist. I'm not going to be I'm not an authoritarian. I definitely want to see people that start talking about other humans being cockroaches getting yoked up. Like something has to be addressed. Something they've gone too far. There's too much. Too much going on there.
So now I'm gonna. Oh, sorry. Now I'm gonna explain to you who he's talking about and what is happening here. David Cross made a video for his new stand-up special. And I'm going to play you a little clip from the video of the stand-up special so that you can hear the context of what David Cross was trying to say. And then we will get where Jim Breuer, this is what Jim Breuer is referencing. This is
the David Cross stand-up special.
The David Cross stand-up special trailer for David Cross. Like, he has a stand-up special coming out, and it is a trailer. And the reason I want to play it through David Cross's words is because it fucking comes off. It doesn't sound as bad. It doesn't sound to me like he's not wishing death on people in the way that is being portrayed by Jim Breuer. But here we go.
Okay, so this is what he's reacting to.
Yeah, here it goes.
We can do this, that we can all do this and gather here, and because we got vaccinated, because we wore masks and we all acted like responsible adults, we can do this. We can gather and do this and not die. It's a good feeling, because all over America they're gathering and doing this. Going to a show like this, not like this, probably more of a Jason Aldean, Travis Tritt, Jim Breuer vibe to it, but they're gathering.
Oh, fuck.
Gathering in a space like this, unvaccinated, unmasked, and some of those people will die. They will die of COVID. They'll get COVID, and they'll die. And it's important for me that I take no more than a little bit of joy in that that they will die of COVID, because people are going to die of COVID. That's just fact. We know that. That's the numbers. So those are the people that should die from COVID. Those are who knows how many people they've infected and unwittingly killed, how many people they've made orphans or widows or widowers. So people are going to die of COVID. Those should be the people that die.
That is what he said. That is what Jim Breuer is responding to here in the most serious of terms, claiming really that David Cross said that he should die, which he did in a way, but he is just saying that if people have to die of COVID, those are the people that should die.
Yeah, and also, you can't take a joke. I'm sorry, but if we're going to talking as comedians here, even the people that I hate the most, if there's a good joke to be made, like, have at it, It's not, it's the liberal stance, but I also don't see how the way that he treats and the way that he spends all of his time talking shit about David Cross's audience. It's like sports teams, dude. Like, you're hurt. You're way too hurt. You got your feelings hurt by David Cross. because you're a Red Sox fan and he's a Yankees fan. Like this is team shit. You're both doing team shit here. And now you took it seriously. You look like a sorry ass.
Yeah. So here he goes again.
Everyone that does not want this particular shot, never. You have yet to hear them wish harm on anyone who gets it. Anyone that gets it is XYZ.
That is all they do. That's what they've been fucking doing for 2 years now.
For the most part, they every 90 minutes they post a meme that says something like unvaccinated semen is going to be worth more than a Bitcoin in 5 years. You know,
is that? I've never heard that one.
Oh,
that
I've seen that a bunch. Oh yeah, they're into that. That's a funny joke. Yeah. Also, you know, it's child abuse. If you let anybody under 18 get it, that's child abuse. And these parents need to have their kids taken away. Yeah, they spend most of their time saying that the people that are implementing this have to be wiped from this earth, you know, similar to cockroaches. I mean, they're the most angriest, meanest, fucking barking ass people that there is. Like, just because he did his Glenn Beck thing where he's like, no, let me say, should another comedian suggest that my audience should die? That is reprehensible. And it's like, aren't you guys like the crazy ones? Aren't you the new fucking punk rock? Like, what is going on? Why do you fucking care?
Yeah. So here's a little.
They do this. The concern trolling is never work. It never works. They look so stupid. They just end up looking bad. Their concern trolls are always horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. So here he goes.
Responsible, we're smarter, we do the right thing, which is why we're gathered here. Unlike, he throws out this name, Jason Aldean. I apologize if I'm saying the name wrong.
Oh God, that is something that these morons. This is like something that Aaron Lewis from Stained thinks that smart people say. Is there like Brienne? I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name, the nomenclature. It's such like a weird, like when you're hanging around a doofus that like feels uncomfortable because like smart people are talking, and they're like, "Oh, perchance I could have another Miller Lite."
That really is how he's trying to. I apologize. Excuse. He's like at dinner with the napkin in his shirt up top and everything, just like being. Is this the salad, folks?
Mispronunciation is both uncouth and unworldly, but I must ask how I should proceed.
And Jason Aldean is not a hard name to read. It's spelled Jason, which is Jason, and Aldean. What else could it be?
Yeah, Aldean.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Jason Aldean from South Carolina, from Greenville, South Carolina.
He's gonna keep going here.
Travis Tritt, which he says in a manner that's so condescending.
Condescending? That's the water on a window.
Tritt and anyone that follows Travis Tritt. And so condescending.
Condescending. That's water on a. That's what builds up on a window when there's a temperature difference.
2 times he said condescending. He said it 2 times. When he said it the first time, I was like, I do it. I didn't want to pick. I honestly, the first time it felt cheap because I totally slur and flub my words all the time throughout this show. He confidently said condescending again. When he says it again, he says it the first time, you're like, all right, condescending. But now he's heard people say it and he's like, it's condescending. Is that what you said? Like he should have, I've heard the word condescending so many times, but I have never heard even the dumbest person in the world spell it condescending. It is a fucking English word. I was talking about this last night on an episode of the POD cast that we did where we were reviewing a French album and I was just writing down the words that I recognized, and one of them was Mademoiselle, because the word Mademoiselle was in the song, so I spelled it how I spelled it in my notes, which was Madamosell, which is certainly not right.
Uh-huh.
But at least I know that it's not right. Like, and I'm not gonna, like, I wouldn't write that down somewhere else. Like, he is like, this is so condescending.
Yeah, in France they call a woman a mademoiselle.
Jason Aldean. So if you follow any one of those two people, A, you're stupid, you're a redneck, you're dumb, you're worthless, you're garbage, you're not human. That is what this person believes.
I don't think he does. I
That's
think
not what he
more than
said.
anything, he just wishes that you would just believe in medicine. I don't know. Like, as 8 people, we've had records of disease for thousands of years at this point. Like, scientists can see it in fucking rock formations and shit. And like, this is a part of just being alive. And you got to defer to other people. Y'all have held out for so long to wait for like the zombie apocalypse to come. You watch too much goddamn TV, you know? And yeah, we haven't seen the adverse reaction that y'all have been telling us is coming.
Yeah, David Cross is from Atlanta, by the way, or Georgia. So
Okay.
it's not that he is not, like, this guy's from Long Island, and he's yelling about David Cross, and it's point scoring, really, for him. You know what I mean? He's like, well, I mean, if I gotta say something, David Cross, he must be from New York for reasons. And
with 3 parentheses around him.
Yeah, he must be from New York for some reasons that I've come up with. And I'm just going to say, like, well, I'm also from New York, but I know that people from the South are actually good salt of the earth people. It's the same thing. Like, a lot of times people will talk about like working class people as though they're like this big monolith of people that are like all white guys with like ash on their face and like dirty coveralls and stuff like that are just nobly going to work at the fracking mines and then stopping at the speedway on the way home and getting a taquito. Which that is a good portion of the working class. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but there are all different other kinds of people.
And then he throws my name in there, or Jim Breuer. And I went, oh, okay, where's he going with this? And then he exposes his hate and says the most vile, disturbing,
This is a comedian.
unethical,
I mean, it's not unethical.
soulless, thoughtless thing someone could wish upon anyone. He says, and that's why I wish them all to die.
Yeah.
And then he goes on and says, and they will die.
Okay. Yeah,
I love that line.
They will die. Yeah, he's Alex Jones at this point.
If David Cross says you're gonna die, you're gonna die. Like, that is just exactly what happens.
He brought his trusted followers into a place to say that he was going to genocide all of the Jim Breuer fans. He said the Jim Breuerverse was going to be decimated. They would cut us down unless we got the vaccine.
So he goes on and on and on about this kind of stuff. And then he says, I have a history with David Cross. David Cross has made fun of me in the past like way back in the past, David Cross has said like snide things because David Cross makes fun of comedians sometimes. That's like sort of his thing.
He probably knew like 20 years ago, like this guy's not worth, he's not going to get it. This guy's not going to fucking get it. It sounds like he was right.
Yeah. And here's what I can glean from Jim Breuer was that there when David Cross did Alvin and the Chipmunks, he did a blog entry because his fans, the David Cross heads, which I was a David Cross fan, a big time David Cross fan.
Oh, now we're revealing the bias in media and reporting on Jim Breuer.
I was huge into him. I really liked his stand-up specials and his CDs, and I loved Mr. Show and stuff like that. He said that David Cross fans got mad at him for doing Alvin and the Chipmunks, which I don't think there was any kind of a big outburst about that. And then he said when David Cross was sort of addressing it with his fans on a blog, that he said, well, it felt like a smarter script, and it wasn't like they were going to use a guy like Jim Breuer. That's like what he's mad about.
Wow. From back then, Blood Feud started.
Yeah, that is when it all began. So now Jim Breuer is playing a festival at some point in the 2000s. He goes on stage and he does whatever he does. You know what I mean? Like we've
All
seen
these people are parrots. They're like,
he leaves the stage.
control.
We need control. Genocide the people without the vaccine. David Cross, he wants to kill me. He said, David Cross said, you will die.
Yeah, you will die.
It sounded like he believed that. Like he was just like, now I'm going to get fucking COVID because this stand-up comedian said I will die. And that is another thing that fucking makes me nuts. He is a freedom of speech guy. He is a hey, we can't cancel comedians no matter what they do guy. You know?
Yes. No, I know. That's what I mean. Exactly. That's why it's all bullshit to me. It's like, you got to believe that for everybody, bro.
Yeah. So he gets there, he goes backstage into the green room, and who is sitting in the green room but David Cross? Okay. And two other comedians. So here we go.
Sat down like this, and I said, David, Jim Breuer, do we know each other? And he's clearly worried. He did not expect to see me, and I didn't expect to see him. And he said, no. I said, then why do you keep bashing me? Why do you keep attacking me in public? And I can't, it bothers me when people turn into a coward and they lie right to your face and they pretend it didn't happen, which is exactly what he did. He went, I don't remember doing that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, David Cross. Of course you do. Because it came out of your mouth because you're obsessed with it.
What's wrong with your cord, dude?
I don't know. It's fucking making me nuts. All right, I'm going to try this one more time. If it doesn't, we're bailing here.
This is totally like hanging out at the VIP lounge on the patio. Everybody had too many Michelob Ultras. It's 2:15. They want you to close up your tab. And this guy's talking about the time. He fucking knew what I meant when I said, I think we know each other, because he had a blog about me. And it's just like, what the fuck, man? Like, punch his lights out or you're the coward. Like, if you're going to go and tell these grandiose stories about this shit, fucking make it happen. You got enough money to pay for a lawyer. Figure it out that way. Beat his ass or slap him in the face and make him look like a punk. This is such an annoying story to me. I hate these stories. I said to the guy that stole to my lunch at work, I said, oh yeah, because I packed the Amy's burrito today. So how did you get an Amy's Fiestada burrito today? And then they ate the burrito in front of me, but they knew it was mine. They fucking knew it was mine.
All right, let's try this one more time here. Here we go.
With hatred. You're obsessed with anyone that's opposite of you for whatever torment you're going through in life that I represent. Because it's not me. You don't know me. You know nothing about me. You never have.
Okay.
My door's always open for you, though. I guarantee you that. I'll always just give you.
What actor's playing? Is this Al Pacino playing him in this at this point in the movie? Who's in this movie version of this when everybody gets up and claps?
Yeah, because you don't know me, actually. I'm full of joy. David Cross, if you had come to me, even though I don't know you, and knocked on my door, I would have been there for you. And I would have met you with love.
Yeah.
Openness and love. Straight up. And truth. And you clearly for that. And I said, you know what you said. And David goes, I don't remember. I went, well, the first was you were on Odekirk's DVD. And
okay, Odekirk's DVD is Mr. Show with Bob and David.
Okay.
It's half his,
Sure.
But that, I got to give Breuer credit. That is a really fucking dismissive and shitty thing to say, and I like it. That is something I would pull.
This is also how I fight as well.
The end.
Like he was dragging your ass the whole time. It was Odenkirk's show. Mr. Show was Bob fucking Odenkirk, not David Cross.
We're like, wow, this crowd was, wow, I thought it was at a Jim Breuer concert. And he says it in a very smarmy, sarcastic, degrading manner.
Yeah.
And so, he goes, I didn't mean it as an insult. Now, I know he's a smart guy, and I know he thought about that. So now he's trying to say it wasn't an insult. So he's basically insulting his own intelligence.
Oh,
which is
okay.
You are. You have the opportunity to get to know someone and talk to them as a person.
Oh, that's true.
Which is what we're doing. And my hand to God.
This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. I'm getting to know you right now. I'm telling you that, like, I would be benevolent if you were to come to me on your knees and ask for forgiveness. I would break bread with you. I would take you into my bosom. You're in my wing. I care for people. I'm benevolent. I'm the emperor, but I'm benevolent to you, Mr. Cross. You have the option to get down and kiss my feet right now.
You could have come to me and not been condescending, okay? But you did. You came to me with condensation, okay?
Yeah, on everything. It was mildew from day one. Everything was condescending from you. And you never once reached out to say, hey, I really hate what you do to my face. You put it out there publicly and you recorded it and you figured I'd see it, but you never called me on the phone, the person that you hate, and told me to my face.
Which I know he doesn't believe in and he actually despises, and that too is okay. But my hand to God, this is exactly how it was, folks. It wasn't like, was not like that. It was just the way it is right now.
We was all wearing suits. We was sucking on stogies. We had a couple girlies around. It was all consensual. It was a great time. We was just having fun. We was kicking back,
Right here. The way I'm explaining to you. And I said, and the other, well, let me tell you about the other thing you said then. Try to explain this one.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. I mean, just like you're at a fucking show. You're both there because you make thousands and thousands of dollars doing this. And you can't just go eat a fucking sandwich and be like, that guy's an asshole. I probably shouldn't talk to him. You now are like, I have a burn book and I wrote down all the mean things you did to me in it. And now I'm going to read them to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it comes off as he does not know how bad he comes off here. Again, what you said is exactly what the course of action is, to just be like, I'm on the David Cross side, you be on the Jim Breuer side.
Sure.
And we don't have to talk.
It's pro wrestling, dog. It's kayfabe. Everybody's making money here. Everybody's having a good time. Please do a special and say, like, this isn't a David Cross audience. We don't listen to doctors. We don't wear diapers on our face, and they're more susceptible to infection because they have the vaccination. And we have the numbers from Facebook groups to prove that they're dying more than us. And, You know, we pray for their souls, though. We pray for their souls, even though they're all going to hell because they took the mark of the beast.
These vaxxed people with their fucking worthless cum.
Yeah, and they're not virile anymore. We pray for them for that. Their eggs have dried up on the women.
Got upset with you about doing the Chipmunk movie. So you responded by saying it was a smart script and you had to say the word smart to validate yourself and what you need to be validated by. That's your world, not anyone else's.
Yeah.
That's your
now he's
own
wearing the lab coat.
insecurity.
Now he's wearing his psychoanalyst lab coat.
I cannot get enough of Breuer psychoanalyzing people.
Love to be at a fucking festival when like marshmallows on stage and like everything is fucking rattling inside this thrown together, you know, structure that you're in the green room of. And some guy comes up to you and is like, you have particular problems that started in childhood in relation to your mother and your father and the way that they raised you. You obviously are fulfilling needs and wants, you know, through me. And it's like, what did you say? I can't hear you, dude. There's Stoli. Did you get any of the Stoli? I had like 5 drinks. I'm twisted right now.
And you said they could have went the stupid route and gone with a Jim Breuer. So you basically call me stupid.
Well, but
what did I do to you that bothers you?
Be stupid.
Be stupid. Totally cowarded out.
Okay.
Coward. Folded.
This is
with witnesses.
This is a guy that became famous for going just doing goat noises. He's like, "Oh, I'm stupid." All of a sudden, now I'm stupid. Now everybody, you know, people point at me like, "You're a clown. You're a clown." Just fine. It's fine.
Yeah. No, you're allowed to do Goat Boy. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think there's a place in the world for Goat Boy. Believe it or not, I am not anti-Goat Boy. I am not a fan of Goat Boy.
Sure,
right?
But
I'm not like a fan of Goat Boy. That's not my kind of humor. I don't dig it. But it's kind of like, well, you're fucking. There's a place for you. Why are you so freaked out about what a guy thinks about you?
I know. Yeah, a guy
that's
that
not
you
even in your circle,
and you don't care about, and you don't respect, and it doesn't matter.
Well, he finally gets it down to what David is mad at him about.
But you're not mad. You're not mad at me. You're not mad at Travis. You're not mad at Jason. You're upset. And I started looking into who is Jason Aldean and who is Travis Tritt. And each of them are huge family people. I mean, Jason Aldean, all he does is talking about openness. We need to be open. We need to be open. Family, family, family. Love. Travis Tritt, family, love. And Travis has also said, hey, man, I don't want to play venues that force people to show a card. Clearly, that rubbed David the wrong way to the point where he wants them dead.
I love that line.
Late night talk shows hosts have said this. Radio people have said this. Artists have said this. Baffles my mind. And what do they all have in common?
Uh-oh.
That's the interesting point to find. What does each person have in common?
Okay.
So he's not mad at me. He's not mad at me. He's mad because we think differently.
Okay.
Because we think differently.
No, he's mad because
That's
you don't
it.
think, actually.
And people like this are willing to hold on to their thoughts, which they do not know anything about. David Cross knows nothing about me. But you know what was powerful? I'm not going to lie to you. I had extremely bad thoughts immediately. Let me tell you something, David.
Is this confession now? What are we going to Catholicism?
You know, the first meeting, I was sitting in a chair talking to you. Second meeting, ain't going to be like that. It's a nightmare. It's going to be
Okay.
the worst nightmare. The stuff that scared you as a kid and whatever. But these are just thoughts I had. Just
The stuff that scared you as a kid, he's going to put a sack over his head, cut the eyes out of it, and pop out from under his fucking bed.
He sounds like he's gonna be Freddy Krueger to him.
Yeah, it sounds like the boogeyman. Like I'm the boogeyman now.
I'm gonna Freddy fucking Krueger you. Okay, don't fall asleep. I'll come and get you.
This is also just like such a just a limp, flaccid fucking thing to say. Like, I'll tell you what, I just gave you 45 minute dragging. I literally just, in my story, I've been talking for 60 minutes now and telling you off. I wanted to straight up kill you immediately. So you should thank heavens, that I didn't do that, because I want to do that all the time. I just can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm mad at other people that are into death because I'm just so open.
Yeah.
And people have bad thoughts.
You do.
Bad tries to create more bad.
You have bad thoughts.
Yeah.
You are the ones, the problem. Like you will not listen to things just because you will not listen to anything about vaccines just because you just hold this idea that someone should resist the vaccine. There's literally nothing else. There's no proof. There's nothing else to suggest this is a problem. You literally are just tied to the idea that someone should be resisting the vaccine.
You're fucking afraid of something.
Yeah, you're terrified. Yeah.
You're afraid of something and you will not listen to anybody that asks you not to be afraid of it. Right. You think you're living this fucking maverick life where you're not consumed by fear of COVID. And it's like, you're probably not going to fucking die of COVID, Jim Breuer. I mean, now he's going to, because David Cross said that he was going to die of COVID. Yeah. But you're probably not going to die. I mean, he's gotten it and he didn't die from it, which is whatever. It's not about you not dying from it, you fucking asshole. It's other people that you pass it to dying from it. That is what people are worried about.
And it's a Looney Tunes ass joke to have somebody that's like, COVID isn't real, and then it kills them. Like, that's a turn of phrase, like that's a joke. That's the joke. That's all the joke is. It's mean, it's cruel. Yeah, it's ugly. Sure. I don't know why you went this route when all you do is be mean and cruel and ugly about other people all the time.
Yeah.
You too. Again, just like Star Wars, when they're like, yes, use your hate.
Voices.
It's like Star Wars. It's like Star Wars. It's just like Star Wars. This is like Emperor Palpatine type shit, bro. Like totally uncool.
Yes, use that energy. That's what they want. That's how they do it. And I had friends calling up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to talk them off the ledge. Listen, man, don't worry. Where is he in LA? Or is he in New York? I'm like, don't, please.
Oh my God, this is so good. This is such a fucking knuckle dragger ass bullshit. My boys, like, I pulled them off. Like, my boys should be pulling me off. I'm pulling my boys off because I'm that fucking compassionate about this shit. So many people were trying to kill you, David Cross. And I said, no. I said, not on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Jim Breuer's got shooters, dude.
Oh, I know. Anybody. He just call him out. He doesn't even have to ask. They just know what to do. They move into action. As soon as someone whispers his name, they're in.
It's funny how
we got to worry. Like, when are they coming for us?
I mean, I'll take them. You know what?
Yeah, I want to see his shooters too.
If I get killed by Jim Breuer's people, I'm
a bunch of
happy with that.
62-year-olds in Testament t-shirts.
Yeah, I mean, I can think of way worse ways to die than getting killed by one of Jim Breuer's guys.
It's pretty hard. It's harder to get killed by Jim Breuer's guys than COVID.
Yeah,
COVID is easier to die from than getting killed by Jim Breuer's fucking goons.
Yeah, yeah.
Where he's playing. Don't worry about it. No, dude. I don't care if he says you suck, but he wishes you death. Says you're gonna die. Not cool.
My mother would put a hex on him.
Says you're gonna die. Why is he so obsessed with the fact that David Cross said guys with COVID die?
He feel like he caught somebody. He really they are so twisted in that he thinks he found like a liberal being a hypocrite when they're supposed to be like these lovey-dovey hippy-dippy people is what it seems like.
Yeah, well, that's always been, right? Like from the very beginning, you know, at least from like 2011, when we started doing this show, there was always like, and you're supposed to be the tolerant ones.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. That was the
never
beginning.
say that.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not tolerant of this dumb shit.
yeah. Whoa. When did I say that? So I want to play one more little piece of this, and then I got one more thing I want to get into. Here it goes. I'm gonna get you I want everybody to hear the reason why David Cross is doing this, and you know, it's a very famous Jim Breuer thing, and also just like something that, you know, is really high on my list of favorite reasons for things to happen. And here we go.
Oh, it was to see people's real reactions. And there was people there who never saw me before. They didn't know anything about me. It was younger, older, all different walks of life.
Wait, what?
Okay, so
While he's telling them off, this is happening?
he did a live show.
Oh,
He
he's not
did
talking about like the show that he put on David Cross when he dragged him through the mud.
That's what he did. Yeah. He spent the last 15 minutes of his set the other night that was being live streamed for Patreon talking about David Cross. Now, I can't listen to that because I mean we should be on.
We got to get
Patreon.
it's tonight. I'm doing it tonight. I'll give you the link.
It seems like there's got to be some stuff in there.
He knows how to generate heat. He knows how to get that money. We'll pay for it for all of you.
So here is his answer to why this stuff is why these bad things are happening. You know, let me go back just a touch.
I love them, just like him looking around in the crowd. There's an old man. There's an African American. There's a woman. He's just like he's just audience. He's like in the audience of himself. You know.
Yeah. Well,
he's in awe of how amazing he's done.
I gotta be honest that like if I'm a conservative guy, like a guy that's taking this route, very conservative guy, he gets mad when people say something's racist, that kind of thing.
Sure.
If I'm that guy and I look out at my audience and there are like people of color in the audience or maybe same-sex couples or people,
yeah.
I'm getting excited. I am just sitting on that stage.
It's working. It's fucking working. Finally.
Yeah, I'm taking pictures with every single one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Put my arm around a trans person.
Right.
See, they like me.
Oh, it was to see people's real reactions. And there was people there who never saw me before. They didn't know anything about me. It was younger, older, all different walks of life.
Sounds like just younger.
And
Yeah,
I gotta say,
people from age 18 to 60.
I feel like it can help a lot of people. A lot of people. The way you must deal with people that feel this way and continue to act this way. Continue to attack the way you think, your common sense, your spirituality, your faith in God, and whatever it is.
See,
it's their own fear.
It's their own fear.
He's slipping. He's so slipping. Like this is getting too much. He thinks his comedy is helping people.
Yes, he does. He does. He thinks he's making changes in the world, dude. He thinks the world's bending around him.
And that he's inspiring more people to wake up.
Yeah. Which is not happening.
No. They want to see the funny voices.
And you just got to wish them well. And you have to let them know, hey, man, don't fear me. My intention is not to hurt you or anyone. Don't fear me.
This is such a Greg Locke. This is Greg Locke. This is pastor ass behavior. This is just a matter of like, look at this guy. He used my name as a joke. I love him. I love him. I have a 45-minute speech prepared against him, but I love him and I care for him. You know, I'm a radical. I'm just that open, you know, and I would never, ever in my life say anything bad about people like that, you know.
I would also say that like nobody is questioning that your intention is to kill people. We don't think that you intend to kill people, but your intention doesn't matter because you're spreading a virus all around. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think his intention is to give people COVID. I don't feel like that's Jim Breuer's intention. I don't give a fuck about his intention. I care about what he does. His actions is what we're talking about here.
Fighting, just continuation of a situation that once again, there's data from other places in the world. There's plenty of information about this already on what we can do. And for most of us, we found wearing a mask to be not that intrusive in our lives. And my kid isn't waking up every day weeping and saying, "Take the diaper off my face, Daddy." It's been fine. Yeah, we've managed.
Yeah. It's just he's a baby, dude. That is really what this is. So,
and he's afraid of a shot.
That was a little Breuer update. I got one more thing we got to do here. So this, I believe, is a place in Maryland. I don't know. It's called Benji's, Bengies Drive-In Theater. And what it is it's their condition of employment policy.
Okay.
And it's what you get when you get a job at Benji's Drive-In Theater, which, by the way, I go to the drive-in sometimes. I mean, it doesn't look like a place with super high. Like, the people that are serving you are smoking cigarettes, like, in the ticket booth.
Right.
And, like, hanging out, you know, having...
It's a loose model. It's a loose business model.
I love it. I would fucking do that, you know?
It's a summer camp business model. It's like, yeah, people that can be outside and watch movies.
So here are the rules that they are talking about here. 1, be at work on time, ready to meet and greet the public. If you do not show up for work, it will be understood that you have quit with no notice. The only exceptions will be in compliance with the rules. 2, if you do not come to work because you are sick, or if you must leave work because you are sick, you must be examined by a licensed medical doctor and provide to us written, verifiable documentation that you are healthy enough to return to work. This business is not responsible for any expense incurred to have this done. However, this business would consider advancing you the funds from your pay to allow you to comply.
Fuck. Woo! $9 an hour. My copay is, $50. So I got to work a whole Saturday to pay for that. And the COVID test, it cost me $24.
Yeah. If an emergency arises concerning yourself or an immediate family member, for example, sickness or death, etc., and you are unable to report to work, documentation of the situation from a verifiable source must be provided. For example, obituary or police report, etc. That's always been something that I find to be so evil, is to be like, your fucking grandpa died. Hey, I'm not saying your grandpa didn't die, but I'm going to need you to bring in one of those prayer cards from the funeral to prove it.
I don't know. Well, I'm always devil's advocate, I guess. But I feel like if you didn't make me prove it, then my grandparents would die at every single job I've had. I would have 4 grandparents die, even within 6 months jobs. I would have 4 grandparents die. If I knew that that I was definitely not keeping the job, I would immediately, one of the grandparents would die that fucking weekend.
I think, yeah. I mean, but the thing is, like, it doesn't, you know what though? How many 4 times over the whole time of your employment you got one over on them and said that your grandparents died? Like, who cares? I mean,
that's true.
What's the big deal? And most of the time they don't. I mean, most jobs, like at a drive-in theater, don't pay you for bereavement time.
No, it's
unpaid time.
Unpaid time. You're right. It would just be 3-day weekends. It would just be free 3-day weekends.
If you need time off of work, you must give 17 days written notice.
What? When does the schedule come out? When does the schedule come out?
I don't know. I assume it probably comes out on
the Friday before.
Yeah, I would even say Monday, because it's a drive-in theater, and a lot of times drive-in theaters are only open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Right.
So probably Monday.
Yeah, it comes out Monday, and then your hours for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and maybe Sunday, but I don't even think they run Sundays at all. So 17 days written notice is really unfair because shit happens. Shit happens all the time. I know that sounds like a really ridiculously vague and stupid thing to say.
No,
but
it's life.
Shit does happen all the time. And there are a lot of times where I have to be somewhere and I do not know that I have to be there 17 days before I have to be there.
Yeah. I mean, I just handed out birthday cards for my kid's birthday that is happening in like 13 days.
Yeah, I mean,
12
but
days.
that's not even that's a birthday party though, and it's like
Yeah, but
that is a thing that's happening. I feel like that's a thing that's like happening at night or something like that. It's like most people probably aren't going to have to take the time off work. Most people around us aren't going to probably have to take the time off work, and like
birthday party wouldn't interrupt a drive-in job.
True. So you got a good point about that. It would, but still 17 days, I think, is a really unfair amount of time to ask. And I have always been of the belief that 7 days is the amount of time that you should, that should be the maximum amount of days out they should be allowed to require, I think.
I think before the next schedule, you're right. Well, probably the week by Sunday. By Sunday, you need to let me know what's going on for the week.
So you need to get the notice signed by management. If you're in a position to have someone else make plans for you, like parents or spouse, you must let them know that they can't make plans for you that will interfere with your job in this condition of employment.
What?
Not all requests for time off are guaranteed until the management approves it. And understand that not all requests can be granted. Approval is granted for specific reasons. If your plan cancel, so does the approval. What?
Oh my God. So if we see you on Instagram stories eating ice cream instead of going to the birthday party, we knew you fucking lied to us. Now you got to pay us back.
You fucking bought tickets to a concert and then it shows up in the newspaper that the concert got canceled.
Yep.
And they're like, why didn't you come to fucking work?
Your approval got canceled. We saw the Raid show was canceled.
They're running a whole concert calendar back there too, with like people's names on the concerts and shit. Well, that movie got pushed back a month. That didn't come out.
Yeah.
We know we run the movies. Okay. Yeah. If the
I have a movie guide right here, right now. I'm looking at it. There's no 7:30 showing of the 3:55.
Yeah. Oh, your parent teacher conference. You don't have documentation from the parent-teacher conference that you signed up for 17 days ago. We called the teacher and asked if the thing happened, and she said it was canceled. You're fired now. You're in huge trouble. I never heard that.
The teacher said it was a 10-minute thing. You could have done that on your break.
Yeah,
there was enough time on your break to do that. You didn't have to take a whole night off work.
This is the first time I've ever heard that in my entire life.
Yeah, that is like a big red flag. I would never ever work for this place. I mean, I would steal from them till they go out of business. Like this place, I want to be proactive in taking away their business for sure.
If the employment schedule is completed and you see that you are not scheduled for certain days on the completed schedule, you are still expected to come into work if you are called. If you make plans on days you are not scheduled and or called into work and cannot come in because you have made plans, you are in violation of the rule. If you want to make plans that are not flexible, request it 17 days ahead of time. Number 3A, we must be able to reach you by phone on short notice. If you are not reachable or are unavailable, you have not complied with this policy. And you know what this is reading as now? This is reading as a guy or woman or non-binary person, right? This is reading as a person who's maybe not smart and isn't like a lawyer writing what they think a lawyer would write.
That's true. They think it's a contract if they make people sign it.
Yes. Well, they have at the bottom of it, it says, please initial page 1 here. So you have to initial each page. Yeah. That's such a dumb guy.
You read it. You read it.
Getting mad at them. You made plans and they weren't flexible. So, hey, that's got to be illegal, right?
I called you at 5:52 and just to see if you would answer, and you didn't. So that's unacceptable. Unfucking acceptable.
Yeah, I'm really weird. I wonder I wonder if that's legal. I don't think that can be legal. That number 4, if you are caught stealing in any unlawful act, if you are fired or dismissed for breaking this policy, ground or house rules and policy, or failure to provide this company with the minimum of 2 weeks notice of your decision to depart, will result in our applying any legal and or financial remedies afforded to us under the law.
Whoa.
Proper
Whoa.
This
We're
is
going to
such-
sue your ass. You quit, we sue.
Proper termination of employment is to provide the management with written notice and a photocopy of your notice that will be signed and dated when received by the management, to be retained by you for your records. I don't keep records. I'm sorry. I don't have a single record in my house. I don't have a filing cabinet. I don't have any records. I do have like tax returns that I shove into a folder, but if you went and told me to get those tax returns, I would have no idea where they are. I just know they're in a folder somewhere.
Yeah, I could make them if the government comes with a gun to prove that I have them. That's about it.
Consider not coming to work. Consider not coming to work is quitting without notice, and you can cause us a very big loss of income. Also, non-return or willful damage to items this company provides to you will be pursued. Number 5, if you leave this business under any violation of these conditions of employment or circumstances that are deemed negative, you are never to return to this business with or without a ticket.
Fuck. You're banned
That's hard.
forever.
That's hard, though.
What is this tyranny that they're doing at Benji's?
You may never return under any circumstances to the Benji's property or any of the land owned by this business.
Jesus. Don't get caught on the land.
Yeah. Hey, you can't do that.
Hey, you can't turn around in this driveway. You know?
Each employee signs in and out individually. No employee may sign in prior to the time assigned on the work schedule unless approved to do so by the management. You must also be diligent to sign in and out, and do so with careful handwriting so we can read the times. If you forget to complete the timesheet or do so in a manner where we cannot decide what was written, you will be paid for your time, of course, but for the time in question, you will wait until the next pay period for that time to be entered. Signing in out for the time not earned is stealing time. Please refer to number 4 above, which is the one about stealing. So number 7, any persons bringing you to or picking you up from work must obey all house rules and policies.
Oh my God.
I mean, like, okay, so to be sure anyone involved is properly informed, as it is you that will be held accountable. Persons under the age of 18 cannot walk out of the theater after their shift. They must be picked up by a parent or guardian. We must have their written permission to leave with another employee or anyone who is not a proper guardian. That's not, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. You have to fucking just, I mean, I got driven home by some pretty wild people when I was 16.
Yeah, they want to be in charge of that. They want to control who the fuck gets you to work now too. There's rules and stipulations. All of this to, what do you win? Like what could you possibly get from being employed at this fucking place?
There are many.
You get to see all the fucking movies, man. You get to watch all the fucking movies.
You can't hear them though. You might be able to, but I mean, there are many other rules that will come into play after you are hired.
Oh no.
Including,
if you choose to play this game, you will find the rules increase in difficulty.
The following are examples of ground rules that are enforced here, and applicants are expected to comply. Any rules changed, altered, or added after you are hired must be adhered to and will be enforced. So, 1 is no cell phone use is permitted here when you are working. All cell phones will be in your car or in possession of the management except for work breaks, and will be returned to you at the end of your shift. No exceptions unless otherwise provided by the employee manual. So that is fucking weird that management can hold on to your phone for you. I guess, they did let you keep it in your car, so I guess I'm not gonna keep it. I'm gonna have it in my pocket. No body
Mr. Quimby, we're gonna keep this phone. We're gonna keep it till the end of the day. If your mother wants you to have the phone back, she can call me. My number's in the rubric.
No body piercing adornments other than up to 2 earrings and one
Oh,
in
come
each
on.
ear.
What is this? This is, I mean, what kind of situation is this? Now you're controlling the amount of piercings I can have?
2. You're allowed to have 1 in each ear. You're not even allowed to have 2 in the same ear, or like
You're right.
1 in your nose and 1 in your eyebrow, or any of
Right.
that stuff. You can only have a piercing 1 in each ear. And I'll bet you,
Like God intended.
yeah, and I'll bet you can't have it up into cartilage either.
No, God,
know?
no.
I'm just
Never.
mad about that too. It looks
The
like
only-
it hurts.
Only people that bring documentation that they was pierced, their ears were pierced as a baby, are allowed to wear earrings while working for Benji's.
Tattoos must be covered by clothing, gloves, or bandages, or management-approved methods. This includes when you are arriving, departing, and during work, or at any time you are representing us. If you are in Benji's work attire, this would include off-site settings. You may not wear any attire that indicates the Benji's in any Royal Farm store. So I don't really know. what
There's a
that means.
beef. There's fucking beef with Royal Farms chicken.
Benji's versus Royal Farms.
They're like, if Royal Farms sees you, like you're in big trouble. I also now I want to get the job. I want to have some like Gen Z kid with their face all tattooed up, like do like a makeover where you can't tell. But then when they show up to work, they just cover themselves in band-aids like all over their face. They're just all bandaged. They look like a fucking mummy, and they've got 2 big hoop earrings, that are giant hoops, like door knocker earrings, motherfucking bamboos.
I like the idea that they have the tattoos on their face and they put the makeup on, like the pancake powder makeup on their face. And then just as they work, they sweat like more and more, and it just rolls down and the tattoos start being visible as the shift goes on. Here we go. Strict dress codes apply. Fashion statements like wild hair colors or the latest trends may not be appropriate for this business. Certain
boys, you get a high and tight or a buzz. That's what you get.
We'll tell you one thing: you ain't getting the latest trends. We
will
down
cut
with
your
the
hair.
latest trend.
Benji's cuts hair for all of our employees.
That would be sick though if they cut your hair.
It sounds like the Brian Quinby method.
I mean, I would
full
do that
control.
though. Dude, if it was my business and I was making people look a certain way like that, I would hire a barber on premises and be like, look, I'm not going to make you get your hair cut by this guy, but you're fired if this guy doesn't cut your hair. I'm making a good barber too. I mean, that is fair to me. It's not fair. They shouldn't be, your job shouldn't be allowed to dictate your hairstyle. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if your job does dictate your hairstyle, they should have to have a stylist on premises.
That's true. I get it now. Yeah, if they have opinions, they should have a stylist and a barber.
So all attire and styles must be deemed appropriate by the management, who has the final say. No shortcut shorts or low waistlines or showing undergarments or tying up shirts are just some of the examples that we are communicating. Employees will be given shirts after the training period. Once you're given these shirts, they will be worn always. Proper care of the clothing is your responsibility, as well as keeping them clean. That's another thing, dude. I'm against that. When I worked at the fucking deli place, they cleaned your shirts for you. You left your shirt there, which is crazy cheap. I mean, I do get like that is extremely cheap, because they were just like, if this motherfucker quits, we're out of shirt.
Yeah, that's it. We paid $9 for that shirt. We can't lose that.
Yeah, but I liked it that they did it though.
Yeah,
I liked that you walked in and you got handed a clean shirt. Now, there's no way to fucking know if that shirt was cleaned either.
Yeah, I don't trust it. They should have certainly some certification behind that.
I mean, if they're too cheap to like lose a shirt, then they're not fucking going to the laundromat or whatever.
They're spraying Febreze on it.
Exactly. If garments become stained and bad looking, you can get a replacement by turning in the bad article. I don't get why you would turn it in. All clothing or equipment must be turned in before your last paycheck has been received. Any willfully inflicted damage on items returned will be charged to the employee at the retail or replacement price. Any items not returned will be the cost to replace unreturned items. If you are not yet given shirts or attire, the only acceptable dress is a shirt with no writing. If you are positioned on the field, your shirt must be white or very light in color. If you're given equipment, you're responsible for that equipment. You are financially responsible for damaged, lost, or stolen equipment, which is something I found to not be able to be enforced in all of my time
True.
working. In my whole life, I have lost. I've talked about the drill situation at the cable company where I probably lost double digits of drills, double digits of wrenches. There was this thing called the signal level meter that was like a $1,600 piece of equipment at the cable company. I lost one of those, and like they just can't make you pay for it. It got so bad at the cable company that I started thinking about selling stuff. Like, because it was just like, they'll just keep giving me new stuff. Like, what's
Yeah.
the fucking point, you know?
Yeah, I think they don't want to do that.
In food service, no one can have nail polish or adorned nails when working in the concession stand or anywhere around food. Again, certain hairstyles may require use of a hairnet. Not bad, whatever. The nail polish thing is weird. I've never heard of somebody's nail polish coming off in the food.
Same.
If you come to the movie, employee privileges are free movies, and you are needed to work, expect to be drafted. If you
What?
So if you go to the movies on your night off, they can draft your ass.
Yeah, you're allowed to see any movie you want. You can bring your friends, but if we need you, you got to jump on the fryer.
And I mean, you know how teenagers are, and that's who I'm sure works at this place. They love going to work. They love spending time at work when they don't have to work. I spent so much time at Chuck E. Cheese.
I mean, it is like, I mean, I know some of them work concessions and you don't get to watch the movies or anything, but the perk of the job is you can watch the movies for free.
Yeah, that is the perk. When you are working, family, friends, and new acquaintances cannot stop and converse with you. If this situation comes up, the only correct response is, I am sorry, I'm working now and cannot carry on this conversation. If the person persists, walk away from them. Or you may say, and believe this, continuing this conversation will result in my dismissal. If conversation or engagement does continue, action on the management's part will happen.
Oh my God.
That's wild. That's a wild
dictator.
thing.
This person does not deserve any of this power.
No, when your work shift ends, you may not hang out. When the work shift ends, you must leave the theater.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
Getting rid of one of the best parts of fucking having a job where you close. Closing, the only good thing about closing is hanging out with people after work. The other closers. You know what I mean? They're like, get the fuck away from here. You will not leave the workplace without management knowing. Okay. If there are any accidents or injuries, or as the result of any unlawful, or unreasonable act, you must submit to immediate drug testing. Failure to comply means you give up any rights of recourse, damages, or litigation against this company. And then that is the signature. This, again, for the people listening, this is for a drive-in theater that probably doesn't pay minimum. I mean, probably pays minimum wage. Maybe a quarter more, 50 cents more,
25 cents more.
Wage.
They pride themselves on not paying minimum wage by paying 50 cents more.
Yeah, my wife got a raise yesterday. It was like 3%, and I was like, she was like, "That's not bad. I always wanted to be more." And I'm like, "Yeah, because 3% don't sound like shit."
doesn't beat inflation for sure. Right now, where it's going,
for sure. Well, that is Street Fight. That's all I got.
All right. Well, that's all I got too. Thanks for listening in. We appreciate it as always. If you want more of what we do, head to Street Fight WCRS on Facebook and Twitch. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's what I'm saying. And if you want to support the show, Patreon's the place to do it. Otherwise, let people know about it. As always, we'll be back on Sunday night to take your calls. We are Street Fight. Peace.
Bye-bye.